Hey guys, how you doing? Today is Friday, July the 8th, if I'm not mistaken. If it's not, who cares? It's a Friday, it's a July, it's summer outside. Today I'm going to talk about Rattled by Dan House, produced in conjunction with Paul Harris Presents. Been a busy guy lately. First thing you'll notice is it does come in a much thicker DVD case. That's because the gimmicks come with the DVD inside instead of on the outside in a separate bag, etc., where they can be lost, damaged, stolen. The DVD itself is downstairs in my computer, so I have nothing to show you there, but it is a DVD, so you know, you've seen one, you've seen a million. What's the big deal? It does also come with two caps, which are your gimmicks. More on that later. It comes with what Dan says so nicely calls a small bottle thingy. It also comes with a couple of Indian coins as well. Let's see, it's going to zoom, unnecessary zoom. There you go. That's one Indian coin, and that's another Indian coin. Now, let's go through this bit by bit. I watched the DVD, I watched how it was done, I watched the demo, and I have absolutely no issues with the production of the DVD, the quality of the teaching, all the various things that are taught on the DVD for you. One thing I do have an issue with, which I'll get into later, is the execution of the effect, but that has nothing to do with the quality of the actual DVD. Now, you're taught a variety of effects, various presentations, variations, because basically the premise of the effect is put a cap here, put a coin on the table, put a cap on top of it over here, get an empty cap, put it over here, shake it, I can hear it, snap, all of a sudden, oh, it's gone, shake it, I can hear it over here, and there it is. There are issues in my eyes with this, but they're not major enough to make me not want to perform this. As I watched the demo, I had a fairly good idea of how it was done. Years and years ago, and when I say years, I'm talking like 20. I bought a brass trick from like Tenyo. It's like one of those, in those shrink wrap packages, and it was pretty much the same thing. A stack of quarters, is over here. It's gone. Now a stack of quarters is suddenly over here. It used a different principle to get things to vanish, not vanish, to reappear. But to make things vanish, it was the same basic principle, and you understand when I say that, when I explain things a bit further. Back then, the premise of the effect was, hide quarters with this weird-looking brass thing. I'm happy to say that things have gotten a bit more normal. The bottle caps that you're provided are like standard bottle caps. They will fit on a standard bottle. You'll have absolutely no issues, using the gimmick in a natural environment. There are a few things that I do have, issues that I do have with the gimmick. In both of the caps that you get are gimmicked, and also just when he says on the demo that you can hand these out and they're completely examinable, it's true. You can hand these things out and they are completely examinable. They are just all around regular bottle caps, both of them. They'll fit on a standard bottle in North America, anyways. I'm not sure how things would work in Europe. But if there is an international standard for bottle caps, then these will work. You should be able to use these anywhere. If you don't want to put them on a bottle and walk around, then you can go ahead and use this, or you can stick them in your pocket and you're good to go. The one issue is though, you will need a bottle to reset things, unless you want to try and use your fingers. I don't recommend it. But the bottle is important, not only as a way of making things look natural and introducing the cap, but the bottle is required to go ahead and reset the effect for the next time you perform it. That said, it's done very casually as well. You could reset this effect in plain view with people burning your hands, no problem, and they won't see a thing. It's a very, very, very clever, very well designed set of gimmicks you're getting. In addition, you get a couple Indian coins. They come with it, and the only reason that the Indian coins are included is because they have a special magical property that only Canadian coins, not what I'd say only, that Canadian coins have as well. So if you're a Canadian, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you're not Canadian, there's a good chance you know what I'm talking about as well. However, if you're in a place where you have coins that are roughly this size and they have that magical property, throw these out, use regular coins, please. You'll save yourself a lot of hassle with the actual execution, not the execution, with the normalcy of the props that you're using. I figure if you're going to use normal looking bottle caps, you might as well use normal looking coins. I'm not even sure if these things are real. And if someone's from India is watching this, how much is 51 of these worth? Let me know. I'd like to know how much money I have. So, and then on that note, I think that's pretty much it. Like you're pretty much given all you've got. The one issue I do have with the effect is the way that the gimmick is put into play, the transposition of the effect. In having a coin vanish from under this cap and reappear under this cap, there's something that needs to be done to either one of the caps in order to make it happen. And if you're going to have the spectator do it in their hands, that's the biggest drawback to the effect. If the spectator doesn't engage the gimmick properly, then there's a very real chance that the effect itself will kind of fail. If the effect fails, then you've really got to go back and do it again, and by then it's no longer magic, it's just tedious. So the easiest way and most surefire way to have this effect done is to have everything ready to go before you put it in their hands. If you put it in their hands before you've engaged everything, and it works, by all means, that's a fairly magical effect. But at the same time, you have to be very careful. It is a little. One of these things when I got them was a little on the stiff side. It required a bit of working in. Once everything was worked in properly, it worked fairly well. However, the instructions you have to give people, they may or may not be followed properly. So that's, again, like the spectator element, the human element, when it comes to magic, you're always taking a risk that things do work or things don't work. That said, there's ways around that. There's tons of easy ways around it. It's not something you really need to be worried about at this point. Another issue I have with the effect is visually, when you put the coin in the cap, go look at the demo and you'll see exactly what I mean. That's like another big issue. There's like you don't see people put the coin in like that. You know, it's not highly visual. It's not something that really upsets me too much. But a friend of mine once said that if people can't see you doing it, then what's the point of doing it? Like, so if people can't see me put a coin in, what's the point of putting a coin in? Like, and then you'll understand when you see the demo, when you get the effect. There's a variety of effects taught. There's an effect like, where a coin goes through the bottle cap into a bottle, through the table, disappears from here to point A. Basically, you're looking at transpositions and penetrations with these things. That's really the two major effects that you're going to be able to get with these things. And on that note, there's really not much else to be said. It is a simple effect. It's very simple and straightforward. There's nothing convoluted. You don't need to know major sleight of hand. Everything's laid out for you. With a couple of the penetrations, if you do want to do those, you will have to learn a little bit of sleight of hand. And sleight of hand with small coins is kind of hard, especially when it comes to small coins like pennies, dimes, and nickels. But it's definitely doable. So for all you kids out there who complain I've got small hands, here you go. It's definitely worth a buy. I think it's definitely worth the price you get. You get really well made gimmicks. You get the props you need. You get very well performed instruction, very clear and laid out. You're not going to be left wanting or wondering what the hell's going on, like I've done, like with Cash Out, for instance. Everything is pretty much handed to you. These gimmicks, like I said, very well made. You can carry these anywhere. Stick them on a water ball, walk around. If you're a magician performing in a restaurant, some of you guys I've seen walk around with water bottles. You put them up on a shelf while you're talking. Perfect way to introduce a gimmick such as this. How you introduce two, I have no idea, but introducing one is definitely easy. So it's portable. The one danger is if you put it on a water bottle and you're done drinking your water, you might actually throw it out. So always be careful with that. You won't mistake these for regular bottle caps if you have one to compare it to, but if you have only this, it's a bottle cap. If you have a bottle cap, some of the bottles of water that I've seen, their bottle caps are like half the height, I guess in the interest of saving the environment or saving money. But the bottle cap is only half the height, so you got to be careful, like when you're going to put on a bottle of water or use a bottle of water for carrying it around, that you make sure that you get one where the cap is the right size. And that's not the fault of these, it's the fault of the actual water bottle. So on that note, I highly recommend this, guys. Pick it up. It is something that you probably can have a lot of fun with. It is not something that you can repeat over and over again, I will say that. Some effects, I know all the magician rule is don't repeat the effect. Some effects you can, some effects you can't. This is one of the ones where you can't. The motion in which you the magical effect happens after one or two extra viewings becomes readily apparent to people who have seen the effect a few times. Because after you've seen the effect a few times, you know, like you're going to start knowing where to look. Okay, I've looked here; it's not going to happen. So let's go ahead and look somewhere else and see if it happens over there. And that's the danger with all magical effects. So there you go, Rattled by Dan House. Pick it up; it's highly worth it. And I will catch you on the flip side with a really awesome iced coffee recipe. So on that note, see you later, guys.